All right, welcome to the video here today for Thursday, September 1st, 2022. My name is Brock Page and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And if you want to see which one of these free picks on this video that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. And the link for that site is in the description section below. With that, guys, we're going to start off with the Mariners taking on the Tigers, 1:10 p.m. East. Seattle's the $1.45 favorite on the road, total 7.5 runs. Logan Gilbert for the Mariners, Eduardo Rodriguez for Detroit. Now, we saw a nickel move toward the Mariners in the early wagering here. They also have Logan Gilbert on the mound, who has double-digit wins on the year, along with 133 strikeouts. Matter of fact, Gilby's currently 10-5 with an ERA of 3.49. The Mariners have also won 5 out of their last 6 ball games, and they've done a nice job cashing in on the run line here recently. Out of their last 10 outings, the M's have covered the 1.5 in 60% of those contests. Eugenio Suarez, he's leading the team in homers and runs batted in. Meanwhile, teammate Ty France, is the club leader in batting average. Now, when it comes to getting on base, these Mariner hitters are actually in the top 3 in the league in walks per 9 on the road. Now, they're taking on a Detroit squad on the other side of things, who has arguably the worst hitting lineup in the league. These guys are dead last in homers, dead last in OPS, and of course, no real shocker here when it comes to the scoring. These guys are averaging a league worst 3.4 runs a game. Now, total-wise, 6 out of Detroit's last 7 at Comerica Park fell under the number. No real surprise there. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Mariners went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean towards Seattle minus 1.5, under 7.5. Next ball game, it is going to be Royals, White Sox, 2:10 p.m. East. Chicago's the $2.25 favorite, totals 9 runs. Johnny Cueto for Chicago, Daniel Mengden for Kansas City. Now, when it comes to the run line, the Royals have covered in 6 out of their last 10 ball games. Meanwhile, at the plate, these guys have been really tough to strike out. They're actually in the top 10 in fewest strikeouts per 9 at the dish. Now, Bobby Witt Jr., he is the team leader in batting average and runs batted in. Meanwhile, Salvi Perez, he leads the club in homers. Now, the Kansas City Royals, they're taking on a White Sox club on the other side who lost 7 out of their last 9. And they actually played their worst baseball at Guaranteed Rate Field. The Sox have a .469 win percentage in their own stadium, and they've also been little threat hitting the long ball. Definitely a team who does not hit for power. These guys are actually in the bottom 3 in the league in home runs per game. Now, when it comes to the number, 3 out of Chicago's last 5 home games surprisingly did get over the total. Meanwhile, KC went 7-3 to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Royals plus 1.5, over 9. Next ball game, it is going to be Athletics taking on the Nationals, 4:05 Eastern first pitch. Now, Washington's the $1.20 favorite at home, totals 8 runs. Paolo Espino for the Nats, Ken Waldichuk making his debut for Oakland. Now, Kenny's a big boy. He's 6'4", 220. The 24-year-old also went 4-0 with a 1.26 ERA with Double-A Somerset this year. And I typically do fade Oakland in these type of spots, but they actually won 3 out of their last 4 games. They averaged just about 6 runs a game in those victories. Sean Murphy's leading the organization in batting average, home runs, and RBI. He's also facing Paolo Espino, who's yet to record a win this year. Now, in 91 innings of work, the righty's 0-6 with an ERA in the 4s. The Nats also dropped 6 out of their last 9. And they win only 30% of their home games. Now, when it comes to the number, 7 out of Washington's last 10 ball games fell under the total. Meanwhile, Oakland went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the A's plus $1, under 8 runs. Next matchup, it is going to be the Dodgers at the Mets, 4:10 p.m. East. The LA Dodgers are minus 135 on the road, total 7.5 runs. Clayton Kershaw for Los Angeles, Chris Bassett for New York. And as good as Bassett's been for the Mets, well, New York's actually having a tough time scoring runs against the Dodgers. They're averaging only 3.3 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with LA. They also have to face Clayton Kershaw here today on the bump, who's 7-3 on the year with the Dodgers with an ERA in the 2s. Now, Kershaw has also fanned 88 batters in just 85 1/3 innings of work. He has a stingy .98 whip. And that really shouldn't come as much of a surprise. This Dodger pitching staff allows fewer runs a game than any other club in the entire majors. When it comes to offensive production, well, they're also leading the bigs in scoring. Freddie Freeman's hitting a team-best .325 at the plate. Meanwhile, teammate Mookie Betts, he is the club leader in home runs. He's actually 4th in the majors with 32 homers. Now, when it comes to the scoring, oddly enough, 4 out of LA's last 6 road games fell under the total. Meanwhile, New York went 5-1 to the under in their last 6 in Flushing, Queens. I'm going to lean toward the Dodgers, minus 135, under 7.5. Next ball game, it is going to be O's Guardians, 6:10 p.m. East. The Cleveland Guardians are the $1.85 favorite at home, total 7.5 runs. Shane Bieber for Cleveland, Kyle Bradish possible for Baltimore. And even though Bradish has had a handful of rough outings, strikeouts are up for the righty. He's got no, issue fanning batters. He's pretty much averaging a strikeout an inning right now. Now, the Orioles have also won 6 out of their last 9, and they're led by Anthony Santander, who's got 23 homers and 73 runs batted in. When it comes to cashing in on the run line, Baltimore's covered the 1.5 in 7 out of their last 10. Now, they're taking on a Cleveland squad who lost 4 out of their last 6, and they've had a tough time producing runs during that time frame. The Guardians averaged only 2.4 runs a game in their last 6 contests. They've also been little threat hitting the long ball. Once again, another team that is struggling hitting for power. These guys are actually second to last in the league right now in home runs per contest. It's only the Tigers who are hitting fewer home runs than Cleveland. Now, total-wise, the Guardians saw their last 10 outings all fall under the number. Meanwhile, Baltimore went 9-1 to the under in their last 10 as well. That's 19-1 to the under between both of these squads in their last 20 games collectively. That's amazing. I'm going to lean toward Baltimore plus 1.5, under 7.5. Next matchup, Rangers, Red Sox, 7:10 p.m. East. Boston's minus 170, totals 9 runs. Rich Hill for the Bo Sox, Glenn Otto for Texas. Now, the Rangers got the W in 4 out of their last 5 away games. Their lineup's also a legit threat hitting the long ball. They're in the top 10 in homers, and they're led by Corey Seager, who's got 29 bombs on the year. Meanwhile, Nate Lau's the club leader in batting average. He's hitting .301 at the dish along with 22 homers. Now, pitching-wise, the Rangers are actually in the top 10 in the league in fewest runs allowed per game on the road. So not a lot of people talking about this pitching staff. Really, the main focus was Martin Perez. But these guys do pitch well when traveling. Now, the Rangers are taking on a Boston club who lost 7 out of their last 10. They also have a losing record at Fenway. The Bo Sox have also fallen victim to some pretty bad pitching. They allow more runs a game at home than most clubs in the American League. Starting pitcher Rich Hill, he also comes into today's ball game with an ERA in the 4s. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Boston's last 6 at Fenway got over the number. Meanwhile, Texas, on the other side, they went 60% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward Texas plus 1.5, over 9. Next ball game I have for you, it is going to be Rockies at the Braves, 7:20 p.m. East. Atlanta's the $4 favorite, totals 8 runs. Spencer Strider for Atlanta, Chad Kuhl for Colorado. 30-cent move toward the Braves in the early wagering. Two-way action on the total, so not a lot of movement on the number, but of course, That's a big move toward the Braves. 30-cent move toward Atlanta. And of course, Spencer Strider, he's having one heck of a season. He's got 158 strikeouts in just 106-plus innings. He's also got an ERA in the twos along with a 1.03 whip. This is also a Braves lineup who's been crushing the baseball all season long. They're leading the National League in homers, and they're averaging 5 runs a game. Austin Riley's fourth in the bigs in homers with 32. He's also in the top 10 in RBI and OPS. Meanwhile, Matt Olson, he's sixth in the bigs in RBI with 87 of them. Now, they're taking on a Rockies club who lost 5 out of their last 7 themselves. And they actually rank amongst the worst road teams in the game. These guys have a .317 win percentage while traveling. They currently rank dead last in road scoring. Now, they also have Chad Kuhl on the mound here today, who really hasn't given them a great opportunity, a great chance to win this year. He's got himself a losing record and an ERA in the 5s. When it comes to the total, Colorado went 6-1 to the over in their last 7 Chad Kuhl starts. No real surprise there. He gives up a lot of runs, plus they play a lot of their games in that high altitude. Meanwhile, the Braves, they went 60% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward Atlanta -1.5 and the over 8 runs. Next and final breakdown for the video, it is going to be Brewers D-backs 9:40 p.m. East. Milwaukee's -130, total 7.5 runs. Brandon Woodruff for Milwaukee. Merrill Kelly for Arizona. Now we saw a quarter fade of the D-backs in this one. Half a run move downward on the total as well. Movement on both the side and the total in this one. Having said that, though, even though we're seeing a significant fade of Arizona, it's Merrill Kelly who's been quite tough to hit this season. He's 11-5 with the D-backs with an ERA in the 2s. He also has 135 strikeouts and a 1.13 whip. When it comes to hitting the baseball, the D-backs have little issue getting base runners at home. They're leading the league in home walks at the plate. They're also in the top 5 in home scoring. Christian Walker's got a team-best 30 home runs. Meanwhile, Josh Rojas, he's leading the club in batting average. Now, they're taking on a Milwaukee team who's been pretty bad against the run line this year. They're covering in just 41% of their road games. Meanwhile, at the plate, these guys strike out more times a game than most clubs in the National League. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Milwaukee's last 4 on the road did get over the number. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Arizona went 9-1 to the over in their last 10. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the Arizona Diamondbacks +1.5 and the over 7.5 runs. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. I like Seattle -1.5, under 7.5. Kansas City +1.5, over 9. Oakland +$1, under 8. LA Dodgers -135, under 7.5. Now, real quick, guys, if you want to see which one of these free picks on this video that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. Give me Baltimore +1.5, under 7.5. I like Texas +1.5, over 9. Atlanta -1.5, over 8 runs. And with my next and final free pick for the video, give me Arizona +1.5, over 7.5. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today, just keep in mind you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership today, you're going to get access to that membership every single day all the way until October 1st. I know that seems like a really long time away. You're going to get access to that package every day all the way until October 1st. It's a max value Thursday. This is the best time in the month to sign up for a package to the first of the month because, like I said, you're going to get billed the day you sign up, first of every month following that. The earlier in the month you sign up, the better. Nothing is earlier than the first. Now, guys, if you want to get access to every single bet, every single package, every single day, you're going to want to sign up for my board member package. It's an all-inclusive membership. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.